Hey, Brad and Andy, I just figured it'd be easier to just show you my progress in a video. So what you're seeing is a tracker sled scaled down prototype built out of full scale components. So the sled you're looking at would be at least twice as wide and substantially longer, about 20 times as long. So what I thought I'd do is I'd go downstairs now, we'd do a quick walk around of it so I can explain the components of it to you. Okay, Brad and Andy, we're now down at the sled. Just with the current situation with the COVID crisis, it's been impossible for me to get an actual tracker component from Nextracker. So I just sort of built my own to demonstrate this, but you know, we've got the full rotation going from 60 degrees in the morning to 60 degrees in the evening. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this in the afternoon. If the camera can follow me here, I did do the mock-up with true bifacial panels, right? So this is a significant idea behind this, because if I've got a field covered in snow, why shouldn't I get that reflected light on the back side of this? So for now, I just made the torque tubes and the posts out of slotted tube framing with a homemade trunnion. So everything you see below this point is essentially components borrowed from the entertainment industry. They're essentially trusses you'd see on a concert stage, that sort of thing. But they're super strong, they are modular, and they suffice structurally for what I need at this point. I think we could model the final sled off of this, obviously avoiding components like a custom corner block and that sort of thing, but make these at scale so they can be joined. So that's the structure. The tanks that I have here, these are just a pair of tanks. These are repurposed tanks from Moeller in Tennessee, made for marine industry hold and fuel. The final tanks will have to be about 6 inches taller. We've done pull tests on the sled back and forth. I have a pulling post here, another area that I can pull from back there. You know, this snub nose to this is just not sufficient if I'm sort of mired in mud. We need to put sort of a bull nose, if you will, on the end of this, something aerodynamic or something you'd find on a pontoon on a lake boat, right? Like, so it can pull easily and not plow into the ground. So from Mortenson's point of view, I'm interested, like, and what I'm thinking is that you would make semi-long prefabricated, you know, you'd have the tank along with the structure, and then you'd have mounts periodically for the posts, and that if Mortenson could, you know, work on, like, how do you assemble those, how do you get these on a semi, and that a 250-foot sled would be comprised of, say, nominally 50-foot components that are joined in the field. So, and then you'd have the lateral trusses, right, that would join one side of the sled to the other. I should also say I've had this checked out engineering-wise, which is the reason why we're raising that tank 6 inches, is that we can sufficiently deal with overturning threat, uplift threat. We may want to put like a periodic keel on the bottom of these to avoid sliding in strong winds. Now the idea is that the tracker would go into a stowed position in super high winds. So the other component to this from a regenerative point of view would be to actually have the sled act as a scaffold for third-party companies who are doing the measurement, reporting, verification for the organic content. So in other words, I could have a drone fly over an entire farm doing mid-range IR. I could use the sled with, say, sensors mounted on it to corroborate what the drone is seeing, and then I could do random in situ samples here to corroborate what the sled is seeing. So that would build your carbon market at the same time. So I just figured it easier to show you my progress in a video. You know, all these sort of homemade solutions, the mounting to the tank and so on. Clearly you'd do you'd make these tanks at least 25 feet long, if not 45 feet long in the final model, and have places and mounts already built to the tank, right? So the idea is speed, because I got to drop the first cost of this thing. Okay, so I just thought I'd share that with you. Hopefully it's not too long. Talk to you soon.